You know, like when you see a bad improv show, you're like, we have to keep going for the audience.
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
No, we're just done.
I don't go to improv shows. I'm like a pure stand-up, but I've heard they can be rough.
I've heard how gnarly they can be. Yeah. Oh, and then they're just shutting us in right now.
Cool.
There's a gate that'll let you out after the show.
Oh, all right, great. This sounds terrifying.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I went to the bathroom behind a bookcase.
Yep.
Everything.
Oh, you went to the secret bathroom?
I went to the
here?
secret bathroom. It's nice.
It is
There's
nice.
a huge picture of American Psycho in here,
Yeah.
which is, that's what you want to...
See, this is the kind of welcoming place that I invite you to.
Yeah, you're lucky you are like the nicest person alive, because
Otherwise
if anybody else, if I had agreed to do anyone else's podcast and I walked in here and I was like, no, this is a murder den.
So far, everything murderous is happening. The gate just shut behind us. There's a mural of American Psycho on the wall, and I'm just like, no, we're going to be doing improv together.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, it's okay. Jeremiah's here. He wouldn't let anything happen to us.
No, it's okay. He's a good guy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd make a great movie. You just like tricking people into being murdered by someone, like a serial killer hires you to befriend
to
people,
be the con man, to kind of
because you're so trustworthy.
That's good.
Looking.
I like that.
Yeah.
Your dad, the looking, you're like, I'm still not sure if he's trustworthy.
I'm not.
Yeah, now I'm not 100%
I don't know about
sold
this
whatsoever. But yeah, these are fun little things I was telling you about.
Man, we got like all kinds of different voices and stuff on these things.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, getting sultry over here. And you got one of your own as well. So, I mean, so like these are different things. These are like a different touchpad with different things like that. So that's like a singing one. I don't know if you sing it all, but.
This sings? Like is it making me sing right now?
Well, you got to like put
I got to do this, like that. Oh, when you do up and down, it makes you sound like you're doing something.
Yeah, like that, like Usher.
Like Usher?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what DJ got us falling in love is like an Usher.
Oh,
Yeah.
Look at that. That was good.
That was good. I like that. Oh.
So, just lots of fun toys to play with around here. That auto-tune girl, I swear I'm not gonna murder you in this studio. Yo, let's take it from the top.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
Okay, great. Did we start? Is this it?
We're in it.
Oh, we're in it.
We're in it.
Cool.
It's happening.
Just like a murder.
Just like a murder.
You don't know you're being murdered until it's happening.
Before long, we're just in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a woman, so I get to think about that all the time. Like the moment you realize you're going to be murdered.
Right.
I mean, it's...
How many times have you, like as a woman, you're walking down the street and you see somebody sketchy. How many times have you thought in your head, I might get murdered tonight?
There isn't a number high enough. Every day, all the time. It's funny because you don't always think I'm going to get murdered, but there is like what happens to your body when everything inside you like tenses up without you even, like that happens so much. Like it's every time. I've only had like one time on the road where I was legitimately like, this is it, it's happening.
Right.
Like that's the only time. And every other time I'm like, oh, hope this isn't a murder. But there was one time where I was like, this is it. This is how I go. And here we are.
I had one time after a show where it was one of the only time the guy ended up just being nice. But he's like, hey man, you want to play pool? And he's like, let's put some money on it. And first off, I never put money on pool because I don't want to get hustled because there's so many people who, as soon as they say you want to put money on it, it's like they're probably really good and they're going to hustle you no matter what. That's just rule of thumb. I don't put money on pool. This guy comes up to me and he's like, hey, man, you want to play pool? Like, let's put some money on it. And I'm like, nah, it's okay. I'm just kind of hanging here with friends. And they happen to be off, like go getting drinks or whatever. He's like, all right, then you and I just play pool. I'm like, okay, cool. So we start playing and he's like, let me buy you a drink, man. And I was like, I'm good. And then he's like, no, I'm going to the bar. And I was like, okay, I'll take a water, and then he gets back and he starts telling me his life story. He just got out of prison.
Ooh.
And this was like one of his first interactions right out of jail.
Wow.
Yeah. So he was like trying to be nice, but it was also a little like forceful,
right?
A little bit. And he wanted to keep like the night going. He's like, let's go to a strip club or something. I'm like, no, man, I'm here with a couple buddies. Like we got to drive back later tonight. And he like kept wanting to hang out, but like I think he just wanted a friend, but it was really creepy. It was like sad, but also like, is this how it happens?
Yeah, I know.
You know?
That's like the whole Joker movie is like, it's so sad, but it's so creepy.
Yeah.
But so sad.
Did you like that movie?
I tried to watch it alone on the road and I couldn't do it. I couldn't make it through it. And then I came back and I saw it with a friend of mine and I was like, okay, I never need to see that again. I don't think that's a
good move to watch that movie alone.
It was not.
Yeah.
It was not.
Yeah.
And there was, there's some, white guys standing in the back and you're like, I don't like this.
Yeah, you're like this.
There's so many seats. Please sit down.
Yeah, why are you standing?
Why are you standing?
Why are you being that guy?
Yeah, come on, guys. And they probably just had diarrhea or something.
Taylor, just keep watching the movie.
Oh my God.
Don't worry about it. Okay. No, everything's going to be okay.
This is going to give me nightmares, like legitimately.
Oh, okay. Then I won't use that voice anymore.
Okay, thank you. That was terrifying. You made it worse because you used that earlier, and I was like, "Oh, that's fun." And then you went like,
I turned it, very dark.
Yeah, you did a character into the character, Mike.
Yeah,
you doubled down on the character.
That's what I do, though. That's what I do in my comedy. I double down.
Oh
but sometimes it comes back to bite me. Like I don't want to give my guests nightmares or think that they're gonna get murdered whenever I'm trying to welcome them into the studio.
Mm-hmm.
So, trying to dig.
Nothing. I just need an eye on all the exits.
I just need some periffs.
Yeah. I just all the windows are covered.
Hey Taylor, you did Jeremiah's podcast. What was your feeling after you left there? Terror.
I was not comfortable at all. And they're like, but he seems so nice. I'm like,
just wait till you do it.
Yeah. He still is, but everything around him says otherwise.
Yeah, there's just like a revolving door of just like weird things that are happening.
Yeah.
So I've known you for I want to say just a few years. I want to say. I started seeing you around a lot. It was one of those things where it's funny. Been out here in LA for a little over 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started seeing your name pop up at a lot of the different clubs. So I'm like, oh, who's this Taylor Tomlinson character? And then I saw your stand-up, and it was one of those things where it was like, when you hear a name and then you see them go up, and then you're like, oh, everything is like rightfully deserved that's going
really
on with
nice.
it. Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I wish I felt that way about me.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say about you.
No,
I wish I felt that same way about you. I don't know. I don't dig what you're doing on stage. I don't like. Okay, cool.
No. I meant that was self-deprecating.
No, but yeah, it was one of those things where your name kept coming up around town. And did you come up in San Diego?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you made the move to LA. I'm just trying to piece this together from my side of things, how you came into the LA scene and stuff like that.
Yeah, I started in LA. I started in San Diego. I grew up between San Diego and LA, like Inland Empire.
Okay.
So I would like commute to college and comedy in San Diego. And then when I was 21, I got Last Comic, and like right after I quit my job in school to do this full time, and once that was airing, I moved.
Now, did your friends in college think that you were cool pursuing stand-up, or did they not make that big of a deal of it?
I don't know. I mean, they definitely came to shows. I know my college boyfriend's family, like his whole family just came to a show recently in San Diego. He did not come, but his family did.
Is that, yeah, you still stay like good with the...
yeah, I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, he's probably doing well.
His family's really nice.
His family's great.
Yeah. Like, Taylor, we're so happy for you.
Yeah. It's so funny. I have a joke about like how it's more empowering to make someone's mom love you more than them. And I say in the joke, I'm like, I still talk to Sheila. And after the show, she goes, am I Sheila? I was like, yes, you are, Kim.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Absolutely are. I got your mom in the bag. What's up?
Yeah. So then I moved here about 5 years ago. So
nice.
Yeah.
And things are going really well. It seems
so far.
You've been touring and stuff. And you just had a Netflix special that came
filming it in a week and a half.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
How pumped are you?
I mean, I'm pumped.
This is your second Netflix thing too, right?
Yeah, I did a 15.
Yeah.
I did one of the 15s on the comedy lineup, and which was a great experience. And that was like a year and a half ago now, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that came out last year. So I think we sent them an hour of material hoping that they would give me the half hour, and they were like, you can do the hour. And I was like, all right, well, that's on you guys.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
I know. All right, I'll see if I can. But yeah, I was just headlining, so I wasn't doing like half-hour sets. So I was like, I mean, I can get an hour on tape more easily.
Yeah.
So that's just what we did, and yeah, we're about to film it, and we'll see how it goes.
Heck yeah.
I'm 25. I shouldn't be talking for an hour, but we're gonna try.
I think it's one of those things, though, that because you're at the age where you're at, I think it's going to be interesting Netflix hits so many demographics, especially young viewers, that a lot of younger people are going to be like, whoa, this girl is like younger than the average. Because if you think about the average person who has an hour on Netflix, it's somebody who's kind of like, I want to say like
better usually.
Mid-30s to approaching 40.
Yeah.
So it's a different perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want to say Ali Wong in her first one was like 33.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I can't think of any younger ones. Not on Netflix anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know like how old Nikki was when she did her Comedy Central hour. She was probably late 20s or something. I don't know. Yeah. I'd have to ask her.
How often do you get that you come off as older just based on your you have
trauma, just a trauma behind my eyes.
There's trauma in your eyes and voice that I can't get over. That really it ages you like a fine wine.
Yes, there's a heaviness to me.
I was gonna say thickness, but that's there's a thickness to you. Hey, hey boy,
what's up?
What's up?
People do make comments they shouldn't make in this business.
Hey, how you doing? Okay.
Jeremiah would never. He is married.
I would never. I am married. I would never call her thick on purpose, only on accident. How dare me? How dare me? Yeah, you did my show, Standup on the Spot,
which is so fun.
You were great. It was really
It's such a fun show.
Yeah, I've been doing that show for over 9 years now. It's crazy.
Oh wow, I had no idea it was that long.
I started it really, really too early into comedy, like with the concept, like when I came up with it, like I was such a bad host, but like I've gotten so much better over the years. But that show is harder to host than any show.
Yeah,
because you're cold opening, and then you're like, oh, by the way, you may not know the premise of this. Here's the premise. Oh, here we go. I'm doing it now. And they might not take to it right away. So it was just my job, like, for the longest time was just getting the show off the ground.
Yeah.
Like, for the next person to be able to even do the show.
Right.
But luckily, it, like, goes pretty well now.
Yeah, well, and then we all get to have so much fun because you just, you actually had to you had to throw the kite in the air and start running, and then we just take it and we're like, flying a kite is great.
This is so fun. This is my favorite pastime. Oh, is that Mary Poppins up there? What's going on? Yeah, you were super fun to riff with during that show. So I was like, I want to have Taylor on Jeremiah Wonders.
Well, now let's see if I live up to that. No,
we'll see. We'll see. This next segment, I think you're gonna like. I didn't tell you about it. I wanted this to be a surprise. This is a good surprise, though.
This is my murder.
And this
is it. I didn't tell you about this next part, but
there's just graphics that like come on the screen. It's like Taylor's murdered. Like dun, 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 dun. This segment is called Wig. Okay, I'm going to try to figure out who you are as this person.
Ooh, okay.
I think that you used to be a roadie.
Okay.
Okay. Or maybe you are a current roadie for a band.
Okay.
You've smoked a lot of cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot. Like, you're a pack a day kind of girl.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I think that you are the kind of person who thinks that music always is claiming that music used to be better than what the kids listen to now. I think you're that person.
I think you're right.
Okay. Now let's try to figure out who I am.
I think you just want parents. I think you just want to be adopted.
Okay, so I'm
preferably by a rich man.
Okay, this is great. I'm an orphan. All right, I'm an orphan at an orphanage. And you are turning a page in your life, and you're thinking about wanting a kid.
Perfect.
Okay.
Good. Okay.
So you're meeting the different kids at the orphanage, and I'm meeting you for the first time, and we're seeing if we click to see if you want to sign the paperwork to take me home.
This is such a dumb job. This is what we're doing as our job. This is our life. This is our livelihood.
You sat in traffic to do this.
I sat in traffic to do this. Is part of my job today.
This is part of the job.
Yeah.
That's what I love about
Wearing this wig.
It's
Like, long day. I got it.
You know, it was really hard. I almost got murdered. This guy forced me to wear wigs and play dress up tea time with him. Yeah, but we had a good time. Okay, so.
Okay. So do I pick a voice? What?
So yeah. Try to pick a voice, or just with your own throat, like come up with like a.
That's not gonna happen.
No, you don't do any kind of voices.
I don't.
Any kind of grizzle, any kind of.
Look, don't show off, Jeremiah.
Just
we get that you have range.
I think you have range too. I think that you can add a little pepper to.
Oh, shoot! I hit something.
To the throat box.
I hit something. Oh wait, here we go. Okay.
Or, I mean, you could.
What does this sound like? Is this all auto tuning?
I mean, no, not all of it. I think that this one will work.
Oh, this is a low one.
No, I think that works for you.
Does this work? Oh my God, this sounds like a ransom note. This voice is the voice of a ransom note. Like if you cut out magazine letters and wrote somebody a note, this is what it would read like in their head. Okay, this is good.
I have your son.
Yours is like lower than mine.
I think.
Oh, you're a man. That's why. I forgot.
You just plugged in the science behind this. You're like, wait a second. How come yours is? Oh, that's right. Okay.
Oh, that's right. Privilege.
Oh, that's right. White male privilege. His is just working for him a little bit better than mine. I get it. You give me the faulty low voice on my voice change. No, it's totally good. I'm your guest, but you still are trying to outshine me, as I said earlier.
Yeah, I mean, yours says Barry White, but mine is spelled B-A-R-I. That's not a joke. That's what it is.
That's a real thing.
That's a real thing.
Mine actually says B-A-R-R-Y White. Yours is a knockoff.
Yep.
It says B-A-R-I. We couldn't get the rights to that one. But to this one we could, because guess what? Hashtag white male privilege. We'll be right back after this.
Okay, so orphanage. You just walked in the orphanage. What's your name? Let's call you. What's how about
I feel like my name is like. I feel like my name is like Randall, but I'm like, just call me Ziggy. You know?
You know that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when I fall in love with someone someday, I'm like, my name's Randall.
Okay, perfect.
You know?
Yeah, that's your.
And I cry and I can't.
Okay, so
Stay
you introduced your people as Ziggy.
Am I a dude?
I think I'm a dude.
You're a dude? Okay.
Aren't I? Am I a lady?
You can be a gross chick.
I'll be gross. Okay.
So your name's Randall.
All right.
So your name is, you introduce yourself as Ziggy, but once you get close to somebody, it's Randall.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm a little kid. I think my name is Timothy.
Timothy.
I can't say my name right. My name is Timothy. Okay. Oh man, I'm so lonely at this orphanage. Look out there, a visitor's coming. Hello? Well, what's your name?
You can call me Ziggy.
Okay, Ziggy, are you the lady who's gonna come see if she wants to adopt me today?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, do you have skills? How old are you?
I'm 6.5.
Okay, not great. But you're gonna be 7 soon.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I can be 7. Right. Yeah.
Could you be 7? I feel like.
Yeah, is that better for you?
You like shit in a toilet, right?
Yeah, I'm 20.
Oh, then you can. Yeah, all right, great.
Okay,
that was what I was concerned about.
Okay,
mostly.
so far we're in the red, as they say.
Sure.
In the green. I don't know the stock market. I'm 7.
You've been talking to too many adults.
Yeah, I watch a lot. I watch a lot of CNN, and they talk a lot about the Dow and stuff. I still don't get it, but
they make you watch CNN in here.
Yeah, well, the old lady who runs this place, she won't let me watch cartoons, so I just watch Fox and CNN, which I find are very conflicting views.
This is the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Well, I do need a mom, Ziggy. Is there anything else you need to find out about me?
Well, to be clear, I'm not looking to be like a mom. I'm
Okay.
looking to be more of like a cool aunt.
Oh, okay, cool.
Is that?
yeah,
Did
that-
you work with that?
I can work. Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
You got to take care of yourself most of the time.
yeah. Anything is better than this orphanage, to be honest.
Well, don't speak too soon.
What's your living situation like?
You know, have you been in a car?
I've been on a bus, but I've never been in a car before.
You're gonna love living in a car. So a bus.
Wait, living in a car?
Yeah. It's rock and roll. It's like
Okay.
you're out in the open road.
All
and
right. Yeah.
You go from place to place. You're always in motion.
Yeah.
you know?
Okay. That sounds fun.
Yeah, it does, right?
Does it smell good in there?
You know, it's did you like how the bus smelled?
Not really, but
Well, it smells different than the bus.
okay. All right.
Is different good?
I like different.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
Yeah. Do you have any pets in there?
Have any pets in
Yeah.
the car?
I got a pet parakeet.
Not on purpose. Have you seen a possum or?
No. I saw it on National Geographic though.
And how'd you feel about it?
I was scared.
You were
I
scared.
was scared.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, they're misunderstood creatures.
So does that mean you have a possum?
No one has a possum. You encounter possums.
Do you encounter a lot of possums?
It's I wouldn't say a lot of possums. I think it's the same two. And I think they know each other, and I think they're telling each other when I'm not in the car.
Well, how do they get into your car if it's moving? Do you park it somewhere?
Yeah, you got to stop every once in a while.
Oh, okay.
Get out, take
I
a
just
shit.
have a lot of questions. I've never met anybody with a car before.
Oh, that is well then great. Your expectations are very low. This could be a good match for everybody.
Are those cigarettes hanging out of your pocket
They
there?
are. Do you want one or?
Can I have one?
Yeah. Would you? Do you want?
No
we
one's
have to
ever
find
offered-
someone with a lighter.
No one's ever offered me a cigarette before.
Really? I find
Yeah.
that hard to believe, considering where we're at.
Yeah, I know. Sunny day orphanage, even though it's never sunny here.
Oh my god.
That.
I think that's how we end it.
I was legitimately getting really sad.
Do you like Jeremiah Wonders? Then come see me headline at a stand-up comedy club near you. Huntington Beach, San Diego, St. Louis, Kansas City, and Chicago. I will be there all within the next couple months. Look at my website, jeremiahwatkins.com, for tour dates. Now let's get back into this episode of Jeremiah Wonders with my pal, Taylor Tomlinson.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Hello.
And we just
Good to hear my own voice again.
Isn't it?
No.
We really transported to another dimension together.
That made me so sad.
For the kid?
I was like, I'll adopt you. Like, just coming out of the voice, I'm like,
Yeah. You want a cigarette?
okay, all right. Do you just
All
need
right.
love?
You know what? I'm going to adopt this fictional
Yeah.
character. He's making me sad. Timothy is.
Timothy is the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, Sunnyside Daycare. We have another fun segment that I want to get into. A lot of segments on this show.
A lot of segments.
A lot of pre-planned fun and energy that went into this. This next segment is called Fanning Out.
Fanning out. Questions from fans.
All right, I reached out to people on the interwebs and asked them if they could ask Taylor Tomlinson any question or give any character suggestions for us to do. What would it be?
Oh, no.
And this one comes from Felicia Michaels, a fellow comic who's very
hey,
funny.
Felicia.
She wanted to ask you, how old were you when you first realized you were watching stand-up comedy? Who was it? Who are your influences? And what's your darkest desire to achieve in comedy?
Ooh, my darkest desire to achieve. Darkest desire.
That's a meaty question,
Oh.
right?
Yeah, to make every man who's ever seen me naked feel terrible that they're not doing more.
Wow.
That's the first thing I could think of. I don't really mean it.
Damn, girl, that was real as hell.
That guy just comes out when something gets really real on the show. That guy just comes out.
He just comes out.
He
that
just
guy,
comes out.
Hey man, thanks for being here.
In full force.
Yeah, how old was I when I realized I was watching stand-up? I remember listening to Dane Cook was like a huge deal when I was in middle school.
Same here. Yeah.
Huge deal. But I don't think I knew I was listening to stand-up. Like I remember watching like animated, like people had like animated his bits on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember listening to an album with friends of mine, but I don't think I knew it was stand-up. And then I saw like a Comedy Time video when I was maybe 11 or 12. And I remember I looked at the description and it said stand-up comedy, and I Googled it because I was like, why? I'd never seen anybody with a microphone just standing and talking to people.
Right. It seems like such a foreign concept.
Yeah, it really did. I was like, are they doing like a speech? Like I didn't know what it was. I was very sheltered. And, yeah, I don't know what the rest of the question was. I just got that and darkest desire in stand-up. I mean, isn't everyone's darkest desire to just be like the greatest of all time?
Probably.
I think that's what everybody deep down in their darkest parts want. But then out here, we're like, we're all just doing our best.
I mean, we're just running these bits.
We're just running these bits, making these friends.
We're just trying to get some jokes out there.
I just want to work. That's all.
I'm just content if I can pay the bills.
Yeah, that's all I want.
So
I just want a studio apartment.
I'm just trying to get by.
Yeah.
Nothing too big.
And then your friend gets something and you're like, God damn it.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, you saw the Comedy Time video and you're like, well, I can do that.
No, I was like 12 or something. I think.
Like, what is this?
Well, how I got into stand-up is like my dad wanted to take a class when I was 16, and I hadn't it wasn't like I was like, I'm gonna be a comedian.
Yeah.
He wanted to take a stand-up class, and I was like, I have a lot of homework, and he's like, we're gonna hang out, and then we went, and
Wait,
then I just
he
fell in
wanted
love
to
with
take
it.
one with you?
Yeah.
Really?
I took it with my dad.
What?
At a church from a church comedian named Nazareth, who's a real guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now y'all messing with a son of a bitch. That's Nazareth, who sings that song, Hair of the Dog. Anyway, but that's fascinating.
Isn't that weird?
So if you grew up sheltered and in the church like myself.
What up?
What up?
Hey,
how you doing?
We got out.
Hey, what's going on? Did you know any Christian comedians? Did your dad turn you on to any?
There's a Christian Comedy Association conference every year. I think it's every year. Every other year. And I went a couple years when I was like 16 and 17. I think I went.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. It's bizarre. Because it's like the, the 6 or 7 church comedians who are just church comedians. They play churches. That's it. They make bank.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like
a huge
them,
market if you can get into it.
Huge market. And it's like them basically teaching however many people are willing to pay for this conference how to do comedy, but from the Lord's perspective.
What were some of the tips that you remember in those stand-up comedy classes? Because they have to be
they were pretty basic. There was it was pretty basic. Like, I think same stuff you would have read in like Judy Carter's Comedy Bible. One thing he told us that I think has probably stuck with me, that you wouldn't hear in like a normal comedy class, like unless it was a Christian comic, is he would say, like, if you're gonna complain about your wife being annoying or something, make sure that you start with how much you love and respect her. Oh. Make sure you say, like, my wife is amazing, I love her, but she does this thing that drives me crazy, which I thought was like a pretty classy.
It's also kind of a good rule of thumb, so you don't bury yourself in just looking like this bitter significant other.
Exactly.
Oh, my wife did this thing the other day.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Do you know a comic named Dennis Swanberg?
Mm-mm.
I'm going to have to send you some clips.
Oh my gosh, Christian comic?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah. You'd have to be with that name.
They call him Swanee. And then what was the other one? Mark something. It's slipping my mind. Anyway, I had VHS tapes. That was actually my first introduction to stand-up comedy. Like, a lot of people have Pryor and Carlin and Eddie Murphy, and I literally had a couple Christian stand-up comics, and my dad was like, these guys are hilarious.
Oh, crazy. Do you feel like you know a lot of Christian comics, or probably not?
No, I don't think so.
Were you super clean when you started?
I was super clean, which I still have this thing where it's funny, I don't really swear at all in my act, and it's funny how dirty I can be sometimes. If I don't swear, there's still people in the audience who will come up to me afterwards that are like, I just appreciate that you weren't swearing, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, I was just talking about jizzing and stuff for like,
Jizz is a swear word.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, not on these people's radars.
Right, I know that's the thing. If
Isn't that funny?
I was so clean until I was like 22.
Yeah.
So, because I was still doing churches, and
Wow.
man, the bar for cleanliness in like the secular world is so much lower. Like, cause I'll swear too, and I have like dirty jokes now, and it's crazy that I still get people who are like, oh, it's so nice that you're not like too vulgar and stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty vulgar now.
Yeah.
Because compared
compared to where?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Mark Lowry. Thank you so
Oh.
much. Yeah, Mark
I feel
Lowry.
like I know that name.
Yeah, he was a zany guy.
Oh.
One of the top Christian comedians that toured with Bill Gaither.
Oh yeah.
Mark is hysterical and well respected for his craft. I'm reading his bio right
Michael
now. that
Jr.
Gage
know
pulled up.
him.
You do know Michael Jr.?
I know Michael Jr.
Oh, I don't know Michael Jr.
I've opened for Michael Jr. a long time
So
ago.
how long were you doing churches? That's fascinating to me.
Tim Hawkins opened for him.
I've heard of Tim Hawkins.
Yep, Tim Hawkins is big. Some of these I don't know.
You just see your own clip. You're like, how did
I
that
know
get in
Darren Streblow, good dude.
there? Yeah.
Yeah, Rick Roberts, know him. I don't know
Wow.
them anymore.
You
but
were really
I
ingrained in that scene.
I was in it.
You're
I know.
deep.
Yeah, I
So
know who it is.
Is your dad?
Thor Ramsey, yeah, Brad Stein, all those guys.
Wow.
Yeah. There's some I don't know.
That's
but Ron
amazing.
Pearson, yeah.
How many years did you? Yeah.
I mean, from 16 to 22. Yeah, when I was 22, there was like one churchish gig where I was like opening for somebody where
Yeah.
they fired me because I had like a tweet that was innuendo, and they were nice about it.
Do you
and
remember
stuff.
the tweet?
Yeah, it was a joke that I did on Conan where I said like, I'm a wild animal in bed, way more afraid of you than you are of me. And they were like, we got homeschooled kids in our audience, like we can't have you on. So they like took me off the rest of the dates, and I was like, I remember I was really upset because I'd never been fired before.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a relief because I was like, cool, I don't need to do this anymore. And at that point, because I felt like I was tricking people, like doing comedy in church when I didn't want to be squeaky clean anymore. There was other things I wanted to talk about. And
Were you still going to church when you were touring?
no,
Interesting.
no, I wasn't.
So yeah, I mean, I'm sure kind of was a relief then.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I told my managers, I was just like, I can't do churches anymore.
But they're like, but the money's pretty.
Exactly. Yeah.
Of
There was
course.
a couple times where they sent me offers, and I was just like, oh, I can't. Like, and they were like, but we know. But if it's a certain amount of money, don't you want to know? And I was like, no, there's no amount of
Yeah,
money.
please stop sending me.
Yeah,
like you're literally tempting me with Christian
Right,
comedy now, which is like
seriously?
the opposite of what
Exactly.
should be happening.
But there's no amount of money that could make me go back to feeling like I'm
Hey
about
Taylor,
to
it's
screw
your
up.
manager. We just have one more gig for you. Pays $20,000. It's in Salt Lake City. You'll be in there. It's a one-nighter. You have to do 40 minutes clean in front of 1,500 teenagers. But you also have to end your set on an uplifting message. What do you think?
An uplifting message? You mean an altar call? Because that was
Yes.
happening. Yep. You know
For
what?
real?
Yep. For real.
They did altar calls at the.
Yeah, some of them would do altar calls.
At the end of the sets?
I remember them telling us, like, if you're doing a show at a church, like, sometimes they'll want you to do an altar call at the end. Sometimes they'll want you to do your testimony at the end. Sometimes.
How many times did you have to do like a testimony?
I never did. I was like, I'm never doing that. I was too young. I was like, I'm not qualified to do this. And also, I really, even when I was doing churches, I was like, I don't want to be a church comedian. Like, Last Comic really billed me that way. Like, they went and filmed me at a church and stuff, and I was like, hey,
That
I'd
was
rather
the-
we didn't.
Yeah.
But they were like,
How much of that did they end up showing? Of the
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they had an angle. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
They all want, especially in reality TV, they want like, okay, so this is the Christian comic, and this is
Mm-hmm.
this is the young female with a different point of view than this dirty, edgy comedian over here, and we're
That's
gonna
exactly
pit them together, head to head, and
Yeah,
that whole
that's
thing.
pretty much exactly what it was. And
Yeah.
I thought I was too young to know that, like, them saying, can you say this? And you going, I don't feel comfortable. And they're like, just say it. We won't use it. It's like, they're absolutely going to use that.
Oh, I did a show. I did a show recently on a network where me and a buddy were on it, and we refused to say 90% of the stuff that they were trying to feed us, and and they hated us. We were like, hey man, we're not doing it. They're like, no, we're not going to use it. I'm like, you guys are going to use it. We've been around the block. Like, we're just not going to say it. I'm sorry. Because like, we don't even want to give you the option in the editing room floor. Yeah. And they looked at us like, these guys, like, they know too much. Like, they're not raw. And, like, yeah. So
they expect you to just be like grateful cameras are on you. And you're like, no, we're not actors. Like, we're comedians.
Yeah.
like,
we're used to writing our own script. And we're seeing through. Like, you're treating us like super naive right now. It's like, we kind of know what's up. Yeah. Did you listen to a lot of Christian music growing up?
Yeah, we listened to a lot of, Third Day. You listen to Third Day?
I'm familiar with Third Day a little bit.
Stephen Curtis Chapman,
big
Love
one.
it.
I'm trying to think of one of his hit songs. Some of this stuff is so foggy until I hear it or see it, and then I'm like, it just takes you back immediately. You're like, oh wow, what
happened? You remember that song? I'm diving in, I'm going deep, and on my head I wanna be. You don't remember that song?
I don't think I remember that one.
There were like dance moves to it. It was great. We had a great time singing that at church camp.
How about Newsboys or
Newsboys? Yeah. Newsboys were good.
But they don't
Barlow
serve
Girl.
breakfast in hell. If the big one finds you, let this song remind you that they don't serve breakfast in hell.
Yeah, play Dive for sure. Can we play it, or we're just looking at it?
I think we're just looking at the...
Okay, sorry, I don't want to...
No,
I got too excited.
I
was like, I can do the dance if we have the music.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I just did a podcast that talks about Christian pop culture. It's called Good Christian Fun, and they had me listen to a Carmen album. Did you ever listen to Carmen?
Yeah.
He was crazy. I'd never heard of him, and I listened to that. He's a lot.
Some of them are a little excessive.
A little
heavy-handed.
Oh, here we go.
Would say.
Oh yeah, this is it. This is still a good song. Ooh. Look at that. Ooh, water.
This is
pretty heavy-handed.
Yeah.
The song's called Dive. We're seeing a lot of water imagery.
Yep.
He's in the water?
He's in the water. I think he might be getting baptized soon.
Probably, yeah. Always. Oh, look at him. This is a good song. I still like it. Ooh. Oh, now he's small and dancing.
Guys, if you are listening to this right now, you just need to go to YouTube and
it's not playing
follow
on the thing.
along with us. I don't know. Is it playing
Is
along
it playing on the thing? Okay, good.
Is? Okay.
Yeah, let's crank that
hopefully
shit.
it won't get flagged if we come in and out of it.
Are we going to get flagged?
I don't know.
If Stephen Curtis is flagging people,
you know what?
He's got to be grateful for this. I don't understand. This probably has 1 million hits.
You know what?
I'm going
Have you ever been in a mosh pit at a Christian rock concert? I'll tell you, if you haven't, you're not living yet, folks. We'll be right back after Stephen Curtis Chapman and Taylor Tomlinson
we hit the
reunite
chorus
on Jeremiah
I think
Wonders.
It's like this. That was what it is. It was fun. We were all like, "Oh shit, this is our jam!"
I mean, oh dang.
Yeah.
Now, your dad, what does he think of where your stand-up is now compared to him literally taking you and starting you off at a stand-up comedy workshop in a church setting?
I think he thinks it's cool what I'm doing. I do not think he cares for my material anymore, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it has been it's been interesting navigating it because they saw me do the Tonight Show the week before the Netflix 15 came out, and it was like they were just on cloud 9. This is amazing.
Our daughter's making it. She's doing clean comedy.
Exactly.
She's doing it on a classic American network called NBC.
And I had told them I'm not clean anymore, and they were just like, okay, they didn't really totally understand it. I think.
Get it.
And so they saw me do that, and they're just so proud, and it's the best night ever. And then a week later, the 15 came out, and they didn't talk to me for a week, and I had to call them and be like, so did you see it? And they were like, yep, didn't care for it. And I was like, okay.
That's how my mom is. Anytime I ask her, she's always brutally honest, and I can always tell right away when I make a video or something that she does not approve of because she's such a big supporter of mine, but she won't say anything if she's not a fan of it.
Right.
And then she's like, Oh, you want me to know? You want to know? Okay, well, no.
Yeah.
This is why I didn't
And
like
it's
it.
usually it's dirty or something.
It's well, it's interesting. It's certain things. When I went back to headline in Kansas City recently, there's a lot of people from my childhood who I went to church with and stuff who were seeing me for the first time in 10 to 15 years. And they were really not easy shows because it was a lot of people who I knew who had this kind of preconceived conception or a memory of what I used to be.
Yeah.
So midway through my set, I was like, hey, little Jeremiah's all grown up.
Yeah.
Like this, I know this is hard for some of you to take in, but like, I'm not like this little kid anymore that you may remember or whatever. I'm like, Hollywood's changed him.
Yeah.
I did that whole thing. And then it literally broke open the audience more because they're like, you know, you're right. I am kind of thinking of this guy as like the teenager I knew or like the kid that I like maybe went to church with or like was friends with from forever ago. And it was hard to get over that. But once we kind of cleared that, the rest of the show went way better.
Yeah.
It's like addressing the elephant in the room.
But you know what's funny too? You're still like, you don't swear.
Yeah.
I know you do some dirty stuff, but like you don't swear and like you're married and like you're doing a lot right still.
Right.
And I'll feel that way sometimes too, where I'm just like, but I'm so close to being good, you know?
Yeah.
Or I'm like, I'm really not that bad.
I know.
You know, which is, I don't know. It's probably when you like date a guy who's like, I mean, I don't cheat like my friends. And you're like, that's what you're measuring. You know?
I'm still
But I'm
better
like,
than that guy.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't, say pussy on stage. And they're like, yeah, but you said other things, you know?
Yeah, you talked about a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, they're like, well, we're not cool with that either, but that doesn't mean we're just cool with whatever you're doing.
Yeah, it's pretty different. I don't know. Yeah, it's a weird way to kind of like transition over the years out of that. Do you ever feel like going like full tilt villain though?
Oh yeah.
like really like dirty, like really. I have that urge sometimes, but I think it's just because
you can't do it. We can't do it now with our faces.
I know, right?
We look Christian.
People take what we say.
Sound booth is
the sound booth is loving that we look Christian.
Loving that we look Christian.
Especially, I mean, this new haircut that I have, I looked very like stoner surfery before. Now I'm preaching the good word.
Oh yeah.
It's
you
happening.
did. The long hair was helping you out.
Yeah,
and this
I was
is
hip,
very clean
and then
cut.
then back 3 steps.
Yep, it looks nice though.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
it works.
You. Yeah,
but you do look. It's weird. You look younger.
That's what people keep
Isn't
telling
that
me,
strange?
and it's weird because you would think the opposite because the long hair is kind of a younger person thing, but I've had everybody tell me like, "How do you look younger with
It's
a more
weird.
adult haircut?" I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, before you looked like he definitely plays guitar, and now it's like maybe he plays guitar.
Yeah.
Now,
Maybe classical guitar, perhaps, but that boy wouldn't mess with the
devilish metal guitar.
Metal guitar.
Metal guitar. That's somebody who's trying to be hip or be in the know of what's going on. Now this is a fun character suggestion that somebody is suggesting.
Yep.
And these can be short. They don't have to go on as long as we did for Wig, which I'm very impressed with how long we did.
Was that long?
No, it was great.
Oh, good.
Because you were apprehensive, like at the start of the podcast. You're like, I don't know, and then you freaking knocked it out of the park.
Oh my gosh,
dude.
thank you.
Yeah. So this is a character suggestion from Bats McQueen on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
The character is monkeys flinging poo that suddenly become intelligent. So we're monkeys starting off, but then all of a sudden we're gaining cognizance
I don't know how to make a monkey sound.
I'll cover us on that.
Okay,
and
you
then,
do the monkey, and then I'll realize.
And then you start realizing like that
I'm smart.
Yeah, it's like autonomy, like kind of like the machines realizing who they are, and like Terminator and stuff like that.
Okay, so you got to make the noise. Kevin, we're better than this.
How did you just say Kevin?
Use your tongue, Kevin.
Use my...
Form words.
We're speaking English. I can't believe this. Well, why would we just... Oh, I have poop on my hands. What do we... Oh, this is disgusting. We're in a cage. What's... Darlene, I've never called you that before. I've always wondered what your name is. But it says right there on your collar.
You can read and everything. Wow.
Wow.
I can't read yet. I just got the talking thing.
No, I think here. I have something shaved into my back. What does that say?
Is that a thing? Do monkeys have things shaved into their back?
Kevin does.
This is the dumbest job alive.
This is the dumbest job.
This is the stupidest profession.
All right.
Hope that satisfied you, fan.
No,
Bats McQueen.
I think they did. It got 5 likes
like
for
how-
that question. On
You like how
Instagram.
like how my character work is, hey, we're smart now.
Hey, I have a big brain. I'm a big brain monkey.
Let me just read the tweet.
Yeah. I think you'll like this one.
Okay.
At Ted_Tremblay on Twitter. Film noir scene, damsel in distress, and the private eye with an IQ of 80.
Okay.
So you are, like, if you want to maybe put on one of those old-timey
I can do
voices.
one of those, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, perfect. So you do one of those
Good.
voices, and I'm a private eye that maybe you're damsel in distress. So I'm trying to figure out the situation.
Okay.
So
You're trying to figure out the situation, or I'm coming to you with a situation?
you're a damsel in distress. So maybe you are coming to me with maybe you're coming to me.
Okay.
Like with a case, a mystery or something like that.
Okay.
And you're coming into my office. Yes? Send her right in, Dorothy.
Excuse me, is this where you handle murder?
What do you mean by murder?
Well, it hasn't happened yet, but if you met my husband, you wouldn't blame me for planning his.
Oh, you're married.
Unfortunately.
Oh.
But not for long.
Oh. Okay. So you want me to kill a guy? You want me to kill a guy, so you're coming to me with this murder theory. And I'm guessing the killer could be me if you pay me enough money. Is that right?
I would never say it that bluntly. I'm a lady. But I'm glad you got there on your own.
Wow. I'm here on my own, and you're a lady. This is nice. It's good to be here. What did you come in for again? The company is overwhelmingly nice. Dorothy, close the door! So, I'm sorry. I think I'm a little confused as to why you're here exactly. Other than you want me to kill somebody, is that right? I can. I'm an officer of the law. Well, I'm not really an officer. I'm a detective. I'm a private eye.
Does anyone else work here, by any chance?
Just Dorothy. That's the only person who works here. Now, if you have a problem, take it up with me. What's your problem, miss? You said you have a husband, but he might go missing. Is that right?
I'm a little worried about your inability to remember what I've just told you.
Hi, I'm Chet. What's your name?
How is your personality in black and white?
Dorothy! I said send her... Oh, hello. Hi. You already... How did you get... Dorothy, we're gonna have to install a security system around here. This damsel just walked in willy-nilly out of here. I'm beginning to think Dorothy's been dead for years. She hasn't responded once to me. Oh. Yep. It's just a paper plate that I drew on earlier. I don't have a secretary at all.
I didn't want to be the one that told you.
So wait, did you kill Dorothy? Is that why you're here?
I think Dorothy put herself out of her misery.
Oh, I guess I'm not the best company. Well, I guess...
Also, this building's been condemned for
Wait,
a while.
is this not a real office space? I've been coming here for years. I swear I'm not homeless. I swear I'm a private eye. I swear I have my name in the yellow pages, and I swear one day I'll solve your mystery.
That just turned into a woman asking a homeless guy to kill her husband.
Pretty much.
That became much darker.
Yeah.
A homeless
How
man with
crazy was he?
dementia.
Was he homeless? Was he a private eye? I don't know. He had an IQ of 80, so you can't really tell.
That's a bit of an Inception ending.
Gage, nice touch with the music, man. I didn't even know that was coming. And if you rewind the video, a sparkle shot into my
It
eye.
did. It was good.
I went up like an extra inch in my vertebrae. I grew an extra inch tall because I was surprised at the technical skills of Gage here at Jeremiah Wonders. let's do this. You know what? Oh, this last question, and then a couple other things, real quick. Mission Green Workshop on Instagram. What was the most horrendous thing you saw Bert do when you were touring with him?
Oh, I don't really see Bert do anything horrendous. I hate to disappoint you.
Anything weird or abstract?
Not really. I mean, he had me come on stage a couple times while he like did a whole bit, and that was a little uncomfortable.
What kind of a bit was it?
I forget which bit it was that he was like, maybe you can like tag it on stage with me in front of people, and I was like, I think he did that in San Antonio. But, I mean, it was fun. His crowds are amazing. They really are. And he's so good live. Like, he's just such an experience.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I feel like anybody who goes to a Bert Kreischer show as a fan is like, you're going to have a different experience every single time, even if he's, like, running an hour for something. Like, he always makes sure that it feels special. Like, I told him this when I did his podcast, that, like, his personality is just, like, a sleepover. Like, his whole personality is just like, you know what we should do? Like, you know what would be fun? Like, that's Bert in a nutshell. That's him in a nutshell. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Most disgusting thing. I don't know what they're looking for there.
I don't know.
No,
they're looking for it's a horrendous thing. I guess they were thinking.
Oh, horrendous thing.
Yeah. I guess they were looking for something like maybe he did something crazy like at a meet and greet or something.
I mean, a lot of cocaine, but other than that, that's a bit.
He's a stand-up guys. That's a bit.
That's a bit. I don't know.
The comedian that can't even pretend to be joking. Guys, that's a bit.
That's
okay.
a bit.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I can't even. I'm not trying to put any smoke underneath people's butts or anything like that. That's a bit. Okay. So don't even you worry about that. Yeah, I know we're on a comedy podcast, but. That was a bit, okay?
I just don't trust your listeners to know when it's a bit. I'm like,
oh, no.
Was that enough of a voice?
It's good.
It's good.
It's
okay,
good that you had the disclaimer because you never know if somebody likes to just chop a little bit. Like Taylor Tomlinson says a bed crash at disc.
Yeah, you don't want that to end up on TMZ. Yeah, exactly. He's very famous now.
Yeah, right. Let's do this next segment very quickly. It's called the Kindness Challenge.
Ooh.
Okay, so every week I challenge the listeners as well as myself to do something nice out of the kindness of their heart for either someone that they know or it can be a stranger. It doesn't matter how big or little, as long as it's something nice.
Gross.
Contributing something positive to society, right?
Okay.
Ooh,
this
gross.
isn't a comedy podcast anymore. What is this, Oprah's network?
I would like to invite you back to the Christian comedy circuit.
Okay, all right.
So basically, I had people write in letters to the show, and then we kind of discuss it real quick and share if we've done anything. Maybe we've done something nice for somebody recently. It could be a stranger. It could be somebody that we know. This guy writes. I don't know where he writes from or anything, so I started to wonder what he might sound like, and I'm going to read it in the voice what I think he might sound like. Let's see here. Let's try this. Hey, man. So today at work, a guy got his car stuck in a ditch at the parking lot of my workplace.
Oh, no.
I was on my way to leave with a lot of stuff to do for the day, and I almost just left thinking he would figure it out, but then your kindness challenge immediately came to mind, and I turned around to see if he needed any help. Fortunately, I did because he was stuck pretty good. I work at a vineyard and winery, so we have a couple of tractors, so I grabbed one and pulled him out of the ditch with it. He was extremely grateful and saved him the hassle of having to call a tow truck or whatever he would have had to do. Just wanted to say thanks for reminding your listeners weekly to try to help others whenever possible. Love you in the podcast and bring positivity to me every Monday and all the Kill Tonys to look forward to. One love, Aaron.
That's so nice.
That's very nice.
I wish I knew how to drive a tractor.
Right?
Because for a second, I didn't know. Yeah, before I got to the tractor part, I was like, how are you going to help this guy out of a ditch?
I know. And then he's
just going
to
keep him company? Oh, my gosh. I love it. Yeah.
That's amazing. Have you done anything lately that you were like, I think that would qualify as something maybe nice that you did for, it could be a relative even, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, or it could be a stranger.
I don't know, man. I try to keep all that under wraps to protect my bad boy image.
Oh, right.
I'm wearing a white leather jacket tonight, but let me tell you, usually it is black when the background is lighter.
I told her, I was like, you're going to have to avoid black. And then
and I had to go buy this.
She had to go buy that, and she actually had a lot of black eye makeup on before the show, and we had to scrub it off, make her look more wholesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bing, bing. I don't know. Now I'm being put on the spot.
That's okay.
I'm not sure.
There's no pressure.
I'm a monster, as it turns out. Yeah, I don't know.
All right then, Taylor. What's something mean that you did recently? No, it's okay.
I like that drive-through thing. I haven't been through a drive-through in a long time, but I like that drive-through move where you pay for the people behind you. I think that's kind of fun. I've had that happen to me, and I've done that, where I think that's kind of cool. It's better when it happens to you, because you're like, oh, I was having a bad day.
I was having that helps so much.
People are inherently good.
Yeah.
But when it's you doing it, you're kind of like, it's like throwing,
Yeah.
It's like throwing a note into the ocean. You're just like, I mean, that was for me, but I'll never know.
Sure.
Then you just drive for the next 20 minutes thinking like, I hope they were touched.
Yeah. Here we go.
Hope they enjoyed it.
That's all you can really do whenever
or you park in the parking lot and you wait.
You creepily like, are they, did I make them happy?
Yeah. Right across the way at the other Taco Bell.
They just went, huh. And then they kept driving.
They're just like, that's weird.
That's weird. You know
they
what?
insist
you
on
keep
paying
that.
anyway.
Yeah, they're like, no, have it the person behind me. Email your kindness challenge letters to jeremiahwonders@gmail.com, and I will read your letters here on the show. We're going to wrap up with this final segment called Sax Talk.
Oh, Sax Talk.
When I was in 8th grade, I had my first kiss. Wait, you're just sucking on the saxophone. This is really uncomfortable. You're just sucking on the reed. You're just wetting that reed.
I have to prep it.
I know. Well, let me know when you're prepped. Oh, that's all right. There we go. Now should I start?
Yeah, just say you're in 8th grade.
Okay. Let me just suck on this reed where you talk about when you were 13.
Yeah. Okay.
So when I was in 8th grade, I had my period for 3 years. And I had been in love with this guy for all of 6th and 7th grade. And in 8th grade, we finally started dating. I'm doing air quotes for everyone who's listening. And I was in band. And every year for band, we would go to Disneyland to play a few songs. That's exactly what it sounded like. And all day I was nervous because I knew the first kiss was coming. I knew it was coming all day. And we finally got to like the last ride of the night, and I thought maybe I'm gonna get out of here without having to kiss anybody. And then we went on Pirates of the Caribbean, and we got to the point where the ship is shooting at the town over your head. We're in the second row of the boat, and he grabs my face and he kisses me, and it's not great. And for the rest of 8th grade, I was like, am I gay? And it turns out, no, it's just first kisses are bad.
I'm gonna get it. I'm trying to play the Mickey Mouse theme.
Is
I
that
just
what you're
can't
trying
find
to do?
it.
You
I can't freaking find it. So close. 1 second.
Wow. Elton John over here, just playing from memory. Oh. Ooh.
Yes!
Nailed
again, Sax Talk. With a semi-pitchy version
Fantastic.
of the Mickey Mouse Club theme song. So yeah, you never know. You never know if you're gay until you graduate from 8th grade.
Yep. That was the point of that story. No, point is first kisses are bad. Don't put too much pressure on it.
Right. There you go.
All your young listeners.
All you young, fruitful 8th graders who listen to this show, just know it gets better. The kisses, that is. Taylor, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Do you have anything you'd like to plug coming up, or your Instagram or anything like that?
Yeah, Instagram is Taylor Tomlinson. Taylor Tomlinson on Twitter. ttomcomedy.com for tour dates.
Awesome. Go see her live. She's a delight, and it was such a blast to have you. Thanks so much for doing the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.